What up, TikTok? Hey, hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hey, don't let anything that's negative in your life dictate the rest of your life. Does that make sense? Hey, we all go through some hard times. We all go through some emotional stressors, maybe at work, maybe at home, whatever it may be. Don't let that dictate who you are and how you react to the rest of the things that life throws at you. Does that make sense? Like if you're feeling pissed off and angry all morning or all day, you're going to take that energy and you're going to present it to everybody else that surrounds you, your loved ones, your soldiers, whoever it may be. You're going to use that negative energy and it's just going to make everything worse. Try to be positive. Pick something positive in life that's going really well. Use that positive energy and let that dictate the rest of your day. We can harp on the negatives. We can harp on the bad things that are going on in life. It's not going to help us. It's not going to help us move forward. Stay strong, keep pushing, drive on. Happy Friday.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Hitting you up this morning with a special promo on how to dress when you are doing PT in civilians, but you want everybody to know you're an Army. This comes from the Buddy Beckwith fashion design of how to work out. So first, you can notice the RI panties. Not Ranger panties, but Ranger Instructor panties. The green socks, the knee brace for the old guys. Don't forget the M frames. Now the shirt, don't wear the Trash Talk shirt while you're running. This is just for the promo. You want to put on like an 80-second shirt or like your favorite airborne shirt so everybody knows that you're a veteran. That's the most important thing. And you start with this stretch. Buddy Beckwith taught me this one. Ready to go.
So, I'm walking out of the gas station and my co-worker, who's an old MP, but we still claim him, and has engaged the man in conversation. Not much for conversation with strangers, but he's got the tab. So, as I walk by, I say airborne, and the man responds with, and I quote, "Hoorah." So, after I instructed my co-worker to slash every single tire before he put the car in gear, I looked for the biggest rock. As I crow hop to throw it through his back window so he can stop posing as one of us, I actually wake up and realize that the man's ignorance had incapacitated me for a moment, and I was daydreaming. I mean, because in that moment you got two options. I chose the third option and said, "Incorrect. That's an incorrect response." And I kept walking. The man said nothing and he pulled away. So you tell me, what is it, a stolen valor thing? No Marine's gonna have an airborne tab, and no paratrooper's gonna say an hoorah. So you tell me, stolen valor?
Hey, y'all, I'm going to work. I left you a note on the refrigerator. I love y'all. I'm gonna go.
Hey, go get dressed. Get ready for school.
You're doing great. We're just tooling along. Shit! Bad guys! Stop!
Let me break it down Barney style.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, Joe, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
Today's show is brought to you by the Farkas Group at the Veterans Mortgage Source. Are you looking for a team you can trust for your mortgage needs? The Farkas Group is our trusted partner on the podcast. I serve with Zach, and he will definitely give you the best rate possible. Their goal is to educate veterans across the country on their earned VA home loan benefit. If you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, reach out to these guys for competitive rates or any information you may need on obtaining a VA mortgage for your property. They are licensed in multiple states. If they are not licensed in the state that you live in, they will still give you the advice that you need and the rates you should be looking for.
What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Welcome to episode 88 of the Trash Talk Hour. Shout out to our sponsors, Zach Farkas with the Veterans Mortgage Source. Check him out at Zach Farkas at vmsloans.com. 10th Mountain Whiskey. Check them out at 10thwhiskey.com. Type in VTT and get a discount. Special guest today is retired Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Richard Comitz. He is a Senior Vice President of American Corporate Partners. And today I'm joined by Nick, Buddy, and Joe. So I really didn't want to talk about this at all because it's kind of all over social media.
You're told.
Yeah, shut up, Nick. It's all over social media. And I figured we'd kind of get everybody's take on the Chris Rock and Will Smith situation that occurred at the awards ceremony. So here's my take on all of it. First of all, Will Smith, you slap like a bitch, okay? I think, Nick did a good one on TikTok. We had a funny video up there, Will Smith from Philly, and then somebody from Brooklyn, just takes the heat, no problem. So Chris, great job taking that slap. Personally, I think it should have never occurred. I would have loved to see somebody like Joe Rogan up there hosting the show, and I would have liked to see what Will Smith would have done, or somebody that had maybe a bigger statue, like a larger person than Chris, because Chris is kind of a small guy,
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Tyson hosting a show. Like, Will Smith, would have you really done that? And then the fact that he was laughing, when the joke actually occurred, and then he looked at, his wife and she started frowning. It's like, all right, I got to do this. I got to go up there and do it.
Yeah.
And then for the simple fact that he was able to stay on the show afterwards and receive an award on national television, that had me a little triggered. I'm not going to lie. Like, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion. You can hate me for whatever the media, lies and all that good stuff. But he should have been kicked out of the building and shouldn't have been allowed to receive an award on national TV. I think if it would have been somebody else, I'm not going to go into details, but that person probably would have been kicked out. Let's just leave it at that. And then also the conspiracy, around it says, that it was staged. Like, people are saying that, like, Chris, put his left foot forward or his right foot forward, and then he kind of tucked in his chin, like just waiting to get slapped, so that it was all staged, to be a massive cover up on, other things that are going on in the world, maybe like Russia, Ukraine, or whatever it may be.
And it happened at the beginning to increase the ratings.
Yes. Great point. So that's just my take. I think, again, he shouldn't have been allowed there. He should be banned, never to be on national TV again, slapping another individual, like, especially at an award ceremony. You just don't do that. But we'll get the panel's take on it. We'll see what's up. Joe, what do you got?
Roll the video then. Yeah, let's do it.
You can roll a video. You should roll
it while I'm talking.
Damn it,
But go ahead, Joe.
Well, okay, here we go. Like, the laughing part and then looking over at Jada and all this stuff. Say it's not staged, okay? I'm gonna give you both sides. Say it's not staged. He ran out of ideas, bro. And it makes me think that there's something else going on with him to where not today. It was a bad day. He got caught on the wrong one. And he realized, like, okay, everybody's laughing. And here's the thing. You disrespect my wife even halfway, I'm going to check you. But it's like, what's your first check? Is it a slap in the face? No, man, a slap in the face is when you run out of ideas. So he just got super triggered.
But you're at an award ceremony. Like, that's what a comedian does. He roasts people. He roasts people. That's a comedian's
Chris Rock
job.
That'll go down as one of the greatest all-time roasts. Look at the result it got. Chris Rock won all day. He won all day long.
I'm gonna win in court too.
But exactly. Now, coming from Will's side, okay, Dave, we talked about it, and I've got a
we talked about that this morning.
I've got a bit of a checkered past. Don't drink and drive. But listen, here's the deal. I'm going to take you guys to a story from prison.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'm going to tell you how it relates to Will.
Earmuffs.
All right, here we go.
You just got to say earmuffs, Joe, and the kids don't listen.
Yeah, no, they're good.
Joe actually just recently had his teardrop tattoo removed, so
Well, that's because that kill wasn't confirmed. That's why. There
was no big
miss. He died of infection, not from the stab.
Teardrop my ass. It's a miracle I can vote. No, I'm just kidding. All right, listen. So, all right, a guy had stolen from me, and everybody knew about it. And so everybody was watching as I got approached by a guy that said, hey, he just said that you're not going to do anything about it. You're not going to get paid. And at the moment, I'm sitting there with all these eyes on me, and I'm making the walk to the cell going, son of a bitch, I'm doing this. I'm really going to smack this guy. And I think that's probably what Will was thinking on his approach.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know what to do or say when I get there to make up for it or save face. So I'm going to do the one thing I know he can't retaliate with, and I'm going to smack it. So, in
Smack
that
that ass,
moment,
And the joke wasn't
Will-
even bad.
Will
The joke
felt
was
he
like,
had to save face, and that was what his idea was. So really, all he did was run out of ideas and get triggered. And Nick, what's your shirt say?
quit being a triggered pansy. Yeah.
That's it.
And real quick, before you go, Nick, and I guess, the other
Dude,
thing is,
how easy is it to say keep my wife's name out of your mouth
Yeah.
before doing any of that? Because he said it afterwards. Because that's
So,
probably going to be my
the
check.
G.I.
He's gonna be
Jane,
like, hey,
the
buddy.
G.I. Jane joke, some people are saying it's actually because G.I. Jane was played by Demi Moore and she was married to Ashton
Exactly.
Kutcher. And Ashton Kutcher, I think, was one of the individuals that had a relationship with his wife. So it wasn't even about the bald head. It was supposedly, because they had an open marriage and,
That's a really long,
like,
that's a long circle to get to.
Exactly.
in,
That's like
it-
the 6
it
degrees
does
of
tie
Kevin
in,
Bacon.
it does tie in.
But
You're just in denial, buddy.
you could also do like
that's some 6
5
degrees of
degrees
Kevin
of
Bacon
Kevin-
type.
Yeah, I was
knowledge.
gonna say.
That's almost
You're
just too
sheep, buddy.
much time
You're
wasted
falling
just
in
trying
line.
to analyze it all, But Nick,
Yeah.
what's your buddy, what's your take on that?
All right, First take is that I'm overdone talking about it. Like, it's driving me nuts. Like, everybody's got their own opinion, and like and there's so many more important things going on than what celebrity slapped another celebrity. Like,
100%.
you know what I mean? Like I made that video the other day. That same weekend, our own president called for the removal of a foreign leader, and we were just like, but Chris Rock got slapped.
It's okay. They
Like,
took it back, buddy. They took it back.
Wait, what? Yeah,
They
he
walked it
didn't
back.
mean that. He didn't mean that. He meant that a billion other different things that English that he said did not mean. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. Here's the sad part about the whole story, though. Like, for years and years and years, the African American community has been, rightly so, bitching about the racism or the systemic racism in that award ceremony by itself, right? We have the first award ceremony that's produced by an African American man. You have an award being given to an African American man by an African American man. Then you have another African American man coming up and slapping the dude in the middle of the show.
And it turns into a shit show, yeah.
Well, and you basically prove, like, even Chris Rock said it himself,
Yep.
what, 10, 15 years ago, when he was like, grand opening, grand closing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can't bitch about something and then compound the stereotype on national or international television and not have any regret about it at all. And I mean, it seems like
There's
Will
a huge
Smith didn't have
uproar
any
about
regret.
that.
Yeah, but like, Will Smith went and partied, he went and did all of his things, he didn't really care.
Dude, he got
whatsoever.
so jiggy with it that night. He was
Yeah.
doing verses and
And it's just
swiveling his
kinda,
hips.
Heard Tom
from the
Brokaw was there.
outside. Yeah, from the outside looking in, it's just, I don't know, it's just sad that the entire thing happened, because honestly, how much more power do you exude if you get out of your seat, you walk up, you pull Chris Rock to the side on national television, and you go, hey bro, you've got about 20 seconds to make an apology right now. I'm going to go back to my seat, I'm going to be calm, but if you don't make that apology in
Not
20
even
seconds,
then. In
I'm
my
coming
opinion,
back up here.
In my opinion, do it after the show. You're gonna get roasted. You're sitting in the front row.
Like, I got it.
It's gonna happen.
Of a comedian.
Yeah. Well, and that is a whole nother, like, he's a comedian. Ricky Gervais, like, completely, like, destroyed them a year or two ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With way worse stuff that was true. You know what I mean? Like, and but at the end of the day, just like Joe said, your first option was to go slap a guy, and you're not even good at slapping. Like, you hit him with your fingers.
That was shitty, man.
It was a bad slap. And then, like, how do you, like, when it flips through your Rolodex?
It makes me look at
things
the
you should
movie
do?
Ali in a whole different context. It's like, dude, did they make those punches CGI? Because there's no way.
I think his wife is
right
extremely.
hand, and then that right hand in
Chris
real life,
Rock,
because one of them looked pretty tough. The other one, guy who played a crackhead in New Jack City, pretty convincingly, by the way.
I think Jada is extremely abusive.
Took the slap and stayed right on his feet and kind of laughed about it. So I'm just saying, he punches like
And-
Ali.
and-
I don't
and-
freaking think so. Okay, I don't.
Yeah,
think so.
and
I'm
here's
just saying.
the other thing I know. Tupac wouldn't have slapped him.
No, he would have shot him.
Or he would
Tupac
have
wouldn't have
just
been there.
gone up there.
Tupac wouldn't
Yeah.
even have been there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
But-
history
well,
between
yeah, 'cause
Jada and
he's-
Pac. There's a
Although
funny
he
meme
did.
that's
He did. Did he
floating
win an
around.
Oscar for Above the Rim? That was a great movie.
Poetic justice.
But anyway, all right,
that's
buddies.
my take on it.
Richard, or Nick, you want to let our guest go first?
Yeah, let Richard. Go.
Richard, what's your take on the whole thing?
Yeah, so my take is that it obviously had to be like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like Joe was kind of saying, he had other issues going on that this just kind of put him over the edge, and he didn't know what to do. And he acted in a way where he acted like a fool because he couldn't control himself. I mean, we know, like, right, in the military, people think, oh, all you do is go kill people and break things, but you also have to have some discretion with what you're doing. And you basically are no different from an animal if you can't control yourself.
Unless you're in the 101st,
A little bit of self-discipline.
under
Or the
Colonel
10th
Steele,
Mountain.
under Colonel Steele,
Or
then
the-
you just
or the 10th
shoot.
Mountain.
Then you just shoot
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention the fact that you have to be able to
Look out for retired Nick.
Yeah.
You have to be
You're
able
right.
to laugh, and if you are affected by what people say about you, it really is, that shows something about you too. I mean,
I wouldn't have any friends.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something there, Doc. And the other thing is,
5% of what
it's
we
not-
do is make
it's-
fun of each other.
it's not your fuck ups that anybody pays attention to, but like there has been zero effort on Will Smith's part to show that he's like, you know what, that's not how I should have acted.
no
My bad. I
ownership
shouldn't
at
have
all.
done that. Yeah.
Like, I used to think Will Smith was cool, man. Like, I
love.
love that guy, And now
We
it's
grew, up,
like,
we grew up with him.
yeah,
he's
now it's
the
like,
French
piece of
prince.
shit.
Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, since he's watching,
Ooh, I'll
I
tell
said,
you what.
Listen, since he's watching, boys, you got to hear this. I said in West Philadelphia, born and
Born and
raised.
raised.
And Kevin goes, what does that mean? And I said, dude, you're Scottish and weird, man. Because you said
Oh
that
my
you're
God.
Scottish and weird. That is a part of American culture. If you grew up in the 90s.
We did not
And,
assimilate, Kevin.
Of course, I realized, Kevin, and I said, you know what? You probably knew the theme to MASH, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
And yeah, he knew that one.
Good take, Richard. Good take. Yeah.
Thanks.
Nick, what do you
All
got
right,
on that?
So yeah, I guess we'll just roll right into the Book of Earl with this because it kind of stays with the same topic.
Mhm.
And those of you who don't know what the Book of Earl is, it's words to live by, right? If you don't live by my book, then you're probably not successful. So we're just going to, and again, the Book of Earl is from my failures, from my successes, and it starts off with right away, Chapter 1, verse 1. All right. Quit being a triggered pansy. Okay. We all get triggered. It happens every day. Every one of us gets triggered. It's how do you respond? Right? Are you going to be a pansy about it? Because we've all done it. And I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not judging you for being a pansy because I've become a pansy. Right. And it happens. So I have this, you got two takes on it. You got, let's say it's real. Let's say it happened. The Big Earl's take, if you read the Book of Earl, is that it's a man acting like a child and committing a crime. That's all it is.
According to a book that they wrote, it is. Yeah.
I'm going to get into that in the Book of Earl. So this is the take on the conspiracy. If it's true, if it's not a conspiracy and it just happened, right? It's simply just a grown man acting like a child, thinking only about himself, right? His own pride, right? And doing something stupid to where, like Dave said earlier, if it was any other person, right, we'd be in jail. And everybody's like, oh, you have to press charges. Okay, are there any cops watching? Let me know, police officers watching. I know there's a few, right? If you see somebody commit a crime, it doesn't matter if the motherfucker pressed charges or not.
That was a fucking crime.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a crime.
It's assault.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like
That's assault, brother.
It's when
Sorry,
the
I
cops
had to
don't
do
know
it.
yet. It's when
had
the
to do
cops don't know yet, and they ask you to press charges so they can arrest the person because they don't know the truth yet. Okay, this one is there's no you should
No
have been arrested.
debating. Yeah.
There's no debating. Right. So that's it. All right. If it's a conspiracy, right, which I think it is, I think it was to get ratings up. Right. And because nobody watches the Oscars anymore. just doesn't happen. They had the worst year ever last year. They blame COVID. Everybody wants to blame COVID. But other than that,
because why would you want to watch the Oscars when you're sitting at home stuck at your house?
Right. That's what should have been the highest.
True. You would
Should have
think
been the highest.
That would have been the highest ratings, though.
Yeah,
Because everybody was at home.
that's just using that fifth principle, though.
Yeah, and then again, if you've watched the commercials lately, you see a lot of main actors on commercials because they're running out of money. Okay, and so that the movie stops and now they're doing commercials. So yeah, the conspiracy's there. Now this goes into the book of ethics versus morals. All right, there's a difference for those of you who don't know. And again, if you pay attention to it, ethics is, I'll give it to Buddy, seeing as he goes to the Yale of the South, Harvard of the Southeast, excuse me.
Whoa.
The Harvard of the Southeast.
Whoa.
Austin P. I go to the Yale of the Southwest.
That was close.
Right.
You almost caught yourself you almost caught yourself one of these real quick.
As you were. Okay.
He's at a 6.
Yeah.
Get him to a 10.
The Harvard of the Southeast, Austin P. Do you know what ethics is? The definition of ethics.
Why would you ask me that question?
Because it's fun.
I choose business.
I choose business.
Like, are you talking about like business ethics?
Actually, in my notes here,
organizational norms used to dictate your business and personal dealings within a given organization, i.e., the army or a business or something like that. I like it. By the way, that was off the dome, homie.
By the way, in my notes, I was like, somebody will quote Billy Madison when I say that, and it literally worked. Okay, so
the industry is a revolution.
Yes.
Nib high football rules.
Yeah, nib high football rules. Ethics again is what it's a rule, right? It's something that is told to you. This is the way it is, right? Morals are the way you're raised. What you were taught was right and wrong, right? So sometimes when they make a rule, it clashes with your morals, right? Because think about all the polarized issues, like abortion. All right. And if you don't want to get into the nitty gritty about it, because we don't want to do that, there might be somebody who just doesn't want his taxpayers paying for abortion because it goes against their morals. It is nothing against a woman having the right to do something. That person just doesn't want to pay for it. Mm-hmm. All right. Because it crosses their morals. But in today's society, which I will target Buddy here with saying, we're saying that why are we talking about what celebrities do? We live in America, okay? That's why we're talking about what celebrities do, right? Celebrities are the most important people on the planet in this country, okay? Yeah, that's not what he intended, but that's what happened, all right? So when a celebrity is upset, you all better care, okay? Because that's what gets talked about. And sadly, look how long, and let's go to the right wing. Let's go to the far right. Look at how many people are still pissed off at Colin Kaepernick, right? That motherfucker hadn't played. It's been like 5 years, right? And they're still. I don't watch just like NFL. I knew this name was going to be said today because that guy took a knee. Okay, like that's cool. Like sorry, because that went against his morals. All right, and now I have a nice rivalry going on with the Warriors of Throat Punch Monday. Okay. So we have our awesome host, Len, Rockstar, right? She brought on a bunch of other people. Last time they did a show live, Monica was on there. The author was on there. I forget her name. I think it's Elizabeth. And then, of course you got Clifford Bauman on there, but the Triggered Pansy, you got to be careful when you start to get a voice. Now, when Veteran Trash Talk realized that we had a voice, we wanted to find something good to do with it. So we wanted to promote veteran-owned companies. We wanted to do all this other stuff. And yeah, Dave, this might go a little long. So just to warn you, if you want to go make a drink, Dave gets mad when I talk for a while. But again, this is why
Nick, I'm all ears, man.
I'm saying Joe and I started a podcast so we could say whatever we wanted. All right. And talk as long as we want. You just got to deal with it sometimes. But so I made.
Let me break it down Barney style.
Right. So
Fantastic.
exactly, go get that button. That was Dave's
Beautiful.
dream button that he doesn't try to sell anymore. Anyways, we'll get to that later. The problem here is that I shared an opinion about Women's History Month. All right, and my opinion, my personal opinion, was that I don't like it. All right, and nowhere, if you go back and play it, did I ever say that I don't think it should exist. All right, and notice, Len, I didn't call you a female warrior. Okay, I called you a warrior.
Yeah.
All right, because that's what you are. And you said that on the show as well. But again, we get caught in the trap of where now all of a sudden I have to be careful with what I say because it might get construed a different way. And I'm going to call bullshit on that. And I think it's like chapter 7 in the book of Earl. You have to look it up. All right. It's chapter 7 where it says, I call bullshit on my censorship. All right.
Ironic, because I think that's chapter 7 in the animal farm too.
Right.
Start talking about changing
So
language.
now you're saying I'm plagiarizing?
Yeah.
You think I plagiarized the book of Earl?
You may
Okay.
you
All
may
right.
You
have
may
some.
have a
That's
couple
fine.
things in there, but you're good.
Yeah. So I have the freedom to say whatever I want. Right. Now I also have to be responsible for what I say. Okay.
Wait,
So-
hold on. Are you saying that there is no correlation between freedom and your responsibility for the consequences of the actions that you take? That freedom doesn't relieve you from consequences? Crazy.
Correct.
That's
Great,
odd.
huh? And that's where ethics comes
Funny how
in.
that works.
That's where ethics comes in because we live in a nation of laws. All right. We live in a nation and the states have different laws. States have different ethics. All right. We talk about this on the 5th principle. When you go to a different state, you might not have any common sense in that state because you're ignorant about what goes on there. All right. So it just is the way it is. And if you care to learn, if you care to be productive there, then you'll figure out, all right, what it is. So the ethics of the country in almost every state, if you hit somebody unprovoked as far as not defending yourself, all right, it's a crime. Okay, it's a crime. If you don't like it, the society, whatever the ethics say that it's not allowed. Now your morals, you might be thinking it's okay for a man to stand up for his wife and go up and strike somebody, right? Cool. But here's the problem. Here's where the book of Earl will help your life. Stop making everything that happens somehow relatable to your life.
Ooh.
Okay. And I'm seeing it on Facebook. You see the left and the right, they go nuts whenever something happens. And people don't realize this. I have to write a paper in my Yale of the Southwest master's degree. No big deal. UTEP. All right, buddy. All right. Not Austin P. All right.
Yeah.
So I do that, and I've said this on the show before.
David Banaka, real quick, Nick says, where is the book of Earl?
Right.
In the
it's
chat.
every Saturday.
It's every Saturday, brother.
Yeah, or go to VTT's Big Earl.
Most of it is scribbled on bar napkins, David. That's what he's trying to say to you.
Yeah,
There are a couple
crayons. Hey,
and some
there are cup stains.
there are a
TV
couple
show.
drunken videos. There are a couple drunken videos of Earl going, hey, I got this is a book. This is the book of Earl.
You can quote me. All right. So
quote that. Run tell this. Run tell it.
So that's awesome. I love it. So again, the ethics say you can't hit somebody of this country. Can't do it. Right. And then so don't make the story about you. Left and right goes nuts. Now all of a sudden we got people defending open relationships. Right. Like, and saying like, oh, you're just this white noise, you know. And again, if I have an opinion and you think my opinion is coming from a white male, you're a problem. All right. My opinion is coming from the Big Earl. It has nothing to do with my skin color, my sex. All right. It's coming from me. All right. If you think, well, that guy's just talking like that because he's black, that you're a problem. All right. Because like he's talking like that because that's who he is. All right. That's him or her, whatever. Right. Like whatever. That's where we have fallen away from society, is where we have to define everything and everything becomes personal. Everything becomes ours. So when we have a story on here, we have a guest on here, and all of a sudden it hits me so hard because that was me. No. That's the guest. All right. That's who's that story that is. Right. And yes, we use these stories to help people relate, but don't make my story yours. All right. You have your own life. All right. I have my own life. I have my own problems. All right. You got your problems. I have my own successes. You got your successes. Right. So real short and sweet. Again, it's not about you. All right. Will Smith and Chris Rock fighting isn't a racial thing. Okay. It's one comedian telling a joke and another adult acting like a child. Okay. Jada Smith breaking her husband down on TV. All right. Talking about all the guys she's had sex with and how awesome Tupac was inside of her. Right. Okay.
I don't think they ever slept. I missed that one.
I know. It's
Hey,
just,
whoa,
remember, 10% truth.
10% truth.
So
didn't they do something like that, Nick, on her show?
No, they did do it on our show.
They did go on a show and talk about.
She
all
broke
that, yeah.
him down based on how good the sex is with other people, right?
It's brutal, man.
Lord.
So again, I don't give a shit what they're doing. That's not my story.
Yeah.
Right. That's not my life. And then so you have like this whole thing about, all you guys getting mad about, saying that Will Smith shouldn't stand up for her because his wife's a slut, right? It's like, it's because you're traditional. Do you know how many affairs happened in 1950? Lots of them. Okay. Lots of them. The people just didn't, there was no social media and nobody talked about it. But there is no traditional, right? There's ethics and there's morals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If this crosses your moral boundary, then turn it off. Don't look at it anymore. Right? Because there's no good. No good's going to come from it.
I would say I would add to your thing, Nick, and just say that there's a standard that you could probably use, like a common sense standard that you could use for almost all of those situations. Yeah.
A law?
And that is everything down here that I don't give a shit about doesn't affect me and I have no control over. And then everything up here that I do care about affects me personally and I can control it.
And that goes, you're right, because that goes into what we've said thousands of times on this show. Don't just bitch about it. If you can do something about it, put your skin in the game, right? Yeah. And do something about it, right? It doesn't do any good to go to your commanding officer and whine to him, right? Or go to your senior enlisted guy and whine to them, unless you got some kind of solution. Like, what are you going to do, right? And then so this is a thing that I've done it. Joe's done it. Dave's does it all the time. Buddy does it. It's like
I never do it.
Yeah, you make it.
I don't know what it is, but I don't do it.
You make something. I've already said it. You make something that happens. You make it personal. Like it's about you.
What do you got to bring me into it for?
Because you're all on the show. I didn't bring in the doctor yet, but we will.
Sorry.
We will. And we're gonna get there. So yeah, I have the.
I don't understand what my name has to do with it. That's all I'm gonna
keep my name out your mouth.
Keep my name out your mouth and other guys' penises.
My co-host name out your fucking mouth.
Yeah, and I'm gonna end it. Before I introduce the guest. All right, I'm gonna just say this. I've been to the Laugh Factory on Sunset Boulevard twice. I don't know if you guys have ever been there. Anybody ever been there? All right, so it's the famous place with the brick wall behind it. All right, and they keep it traditionally cheap. So you only got to pay like $15 to get in there, and it's all up and coming comedians. And then every once in a while, you get a special guest, like guy comes back to where he started, right? And the first time I went there with my wife, it was just there was no special guests. It was a cool, fun time. The next time was our anniversary, and she's in a very nice dress. We're on Sunset. I forget, we went to some famous restaurant down there, and all of a sudden they announced that we have a special guest. And it was Tucker Max. Okay, do you guys know who Tucker Max is? He wrote the book, I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell.
Yes.
Okay, right? And I've seen his stand-up before, and I was like, oh, shit. And I was, because my wife's got a nice dress on. I'm like, Becky, I was like, hey, whatever this guy says, like, I just let it go. All right? And don't, unless you want to get into it, don't come back. Like, just put your eyes down if he says something to you, like crap. And sure as shit, he comes out, first thing he says, where are a lot of women at? And he's looking, right? You know, and there's no single woman there hoping to meet Tucker Max. Nobody knows he's there, right? And he's like, hey, you right there. You got tattoos? And she's like, yeah, you know, and he's like, anything above your neck? And she was like, actually, yeah, right here behind my ear. And he goes, I don't want to touch you because you love all the cock. Right. I was like, whoa, like just like that was his opener. Right. And I'm sitting there like, so again, if somebody wants to tell a joke, all right, they're a comedian, you don't have to like it.
Nope.
All right. And you guess what you can do? You can get up and walk out. The biggest thing Will Smith could have done was get his ass up and walk out. Right. Take his way. Hey, we're out. Sorry, Oscars. Fuck off.
Even then, that would have been a punk move.
That'd have been cute. That'd have been huge. It'd have been like
that would have been a baller move.
No, like addressing. And I think
like,
we've talked too much about him. Address it at the end of the show, but don't walk out because he made fun of you. Like that's what happens again.
Sure. I'm just saying that would have been even baller because now the Oscars they're scrambling. They're like,
yeah,
oh crap, that's the best actor. Like shit, you know. So like, okay,
he just rolled.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So there it is. Now I have the distinct pleasure to introduce Dr. Richard Comitz, who, we read his bio and we put some stuff on LinkedIn and you know about like, you know, he's a doctor in organic chemistry.
Ooh,
all right.
That's right.
Those of you who don't understand,
I believe Walter White was also.
Those of you who don't understand that, okay, I'll use my spouse again. She is a marine biologist, and when she was in organic chemistry, just as an undergraduate, okay, she got a 9 out of 100 on a test, and then there was an email that came out after it, and the instructor said if you didn't get above a 6, you should really consider not being in this field. What? Right. And so the idea is if you're in the biology field or especially the chemistry field, if you can't handle this one, bye. Like it's over for you. Your dream has done. Go be a business major. Okay. That's pretty much what it comes down to. And again, he's got a ton of accolades and he can talk about all of them, but there's only one thing that I'm really concerned about before we get into the nitty gritty.
Concerned about a couple of things you just said, Nick.
Is I didn't see Ranger tab on there.
No, sorry. Do I need to leave?
No, I'll leave. I'll be the bigger man. Yeah, there goes Buddy.
Somebody's about to get slapped.
Lucky
Somebody's about to get slapped. I can't control it.
No, hey, welcome to the Trash Talk Hour. Welcome to the Dumpster Fire. He does tremendous things for and his team and his whole community that they work there at ACP do tremendous things for spouses and veterans transitioning. And the floor is yours, Dr. Comitz. Welcome to the Trash Talk Hour.
Cheers. Thanks for coming on. Yeah.
Hey, I really appreciate being here because I love what you guys do about, you know, kind of obviously talking trash, but also highlighting some pretty important issues. And, you know, I think all of us can say transition is not easy, right? And no matter who you are, it's an individual effort that becomes very stressful. And so I'm lucky to be a part of ACP where we get to help transition service members and active duty spouses as well, which is kind of a good crowd as well, because they're always moving, following their spouse around, can't keep a job if it's in person. So helping them is another big thing. But we do this by partnering up with corporate companies, and they provide mentors for us. And so when someone comes and says that, hey, I'm interested in IT, well, we get them a mentor from IT, an IT field, an IT company. And so they can actually talk to them about what does your resume need to look like. And I don't know about you guys, but I was in the Army for 23 years. I didn't have to write a resume until I was 40-some years old, which is rough.
I just wrote my first one.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for your service.
It is very.
Even though you didn't go to Ranger School.
Yeah. It's very daunting, though, right? I mean, so that person can help them out, figure out what they should put in their resume, what type of things how to translate their skills into, you know, civilian speak, and also help them learn how to interview, just what the culture is like in that field. And so we do that, you know, in all different industries. We have partnerships with over 110 companies. And then we have also some other, about 80% of our mentors come from those partner companies, and then about 20% come from these other niche efforts like small business owners or even academic people or doctors or lawyers. So they might not be, involved with the corporate company, but they're involved in being a professional that can help somebody. And so it really works out well when someone signs up. We have a great team. They call and they kind of interview, try to figure out what you're interested in. And about 86% of the people don't even know what they want to do when they get out. That's something that we all kind of struggle with, right? And I think part of it is the longer you stay in the military, you don't even know what you don't know about what, you might have heard of big name companies, but you don't know that each one of those companies has marketing, logistics, HR, cybersecurity, all that type of stuff. And so when you start talking to someone that's in that industry, you can start figuring out where you might fit with your skills, right? You can tell them, I've talked to a lot of mentors, and the big thing they'll start asking, well, what did you do in the Army? I was a squad leader. Okay, well, tell me what you did as a squad leader. And as they start teasing that out, they're like, well, okay, you have some HR background. You had to counsel people, you had to do this. You have some logistics background because you had to move people and equipment from place to place. So the mentors help out, and it's great because they all are very excited to do this, and they learn just as much as the soldiers do. Well, I should say service members, because we serve all branches. But that helps out, gets them where they need to be, and they are so much happier, and they find a job at the right place in the company at the right level, and they usually like what they're doing. So for us, it helps out, and for the corporate partners and corporate companies, they like hiring the veterans because the veterans are good at what they do. They're loyal. They pick things up really quick. And so this is just a little help to get them where they're going. And that mentor follows them through for a year. So they meet with them once a month for a year, and they're checking in with them. And hopefully, the best transition is, started early, and they start helping them, network too, because if you don't know someone in the industry you're looking to go into, it's very helpful to have someone that does. So
that's sir. Let me ask you 2 questions for that. So first and foremost, your suggestion would probably be to look at this program while transitioning, while getting out, or wait till you're completely out. Okay,
because it's for active duty spouses, right?
Yep. And then you mentioned, and financially, does this cost anything? Is this a free program?
So it's free. It's free, right? Okay. And so we are provided by the corporate partners. So, but the service members and spouses is free. But yeah, if they're transitioning, it's great to do it probably 6 months or so before you transition, because that way they can start getting you ready, so that when you are ready to go, you have all your stuff in order, and you can even, they'll help you start looking for jobs and stuff. And then and once you do get a job, right, then you have to figure out how to assimilate to that culture, how to deal with your boss, how to come up with a new work-life balance. So all that is helpful. And I have success story after success story from service members that really love the fact that their mentor helped them get to where they were. And,
I love this. Yeah.
Yeah, the transition program, is very, it tries to cover a lot of stuff, right? But really it comes back down to, it's an individual effort when you transition. So you need someone to help you with that. And that's what we do. So it's a great program, and I hope a lot of people sign up for it.
Are there, and this might sound like a silly question, but are there prerequisites? Like, probably is it just honorable discharge? Is it just honorable discharge, or somebody that gets out and had screwed up, got out of military?
Shaner.
And he's still looking, because he still needs somebody to figure out what he's going to do. Do you guys provide help to that individual as well, or is it so when you see your DD 214 RE code 1, you're good to go?
So if someone has an other than honorable discharge, we ask to look at their DD 214 and understand what it's from. And if it seems to be something that's not, we're looking at not putting our mentors in danger, or that relationship. Although most of it's virtual, you still don't want someone abusing a mentor or something like that, verbally or anything like that. So we take a look at those people, and by case we decide based off of what their offenses were.
Yeah, and so here's Dave will be going through this soon, because Buddy and I just went through SFL TAP. And we're both,
next month.
We're both senior enlisted guys.
I'm already out. I'm no longer a senior enlisted guy.
Hold up,
I'm
real quick.
a private citizen.
Keith said, "Great question. How about RE4? honorable under other conditions. Well, I mean, I guess you already explained that, sir.
Yeah, we'll
just have to
consider
look at
it,
the situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll consider it, Keith. So,
Keith, get after it. Go see
look
it.
Just
them up
apply,
and tell
Keith.
them what
We'll figure it
occurred.
out.
Yeah.
And then one thing, I think it's like chapter 4 of the book of Earl is it can't hurt to ask, right? So it's
Correct.
like, just figure out if it'll help. So yeah, Buddy was a senior enlisted guy. He spent 37 years in and made it to the rank of E8.
I think it was 39, Nick.
Yeah, 39 years.
Actually, 45.
Yeah, he actually served under Colonel Moore. He was
Hal Moore.
Yeah, he was the sergeant
Good
that
guy.
they made the movie
Good
about.
guy.
Yeah. No, again, we make a joke, but here's a shout
Lived
out
by Joe Galloway in North Carolina. No joke. That's
Yeah,
truth.
yeah, he
the
did.
photographer, he lived right
Yeah.
around the corner from me.
Yeah, you got to interview him, didn't you?
Hey, Doc, I got a question.
Hold on, I'm not done
What
yet.
exactly?
Let-
but you
buddy,
were just
let Nick
rambling.
finish.
No, I wasn't.
I just
was
got
gonna
one
make fun of you.
question. What does an organic chemist do?
What is
Real
it?
quick.
No,
Chemistry?
that's
That's gonna take a little while.
Yeah, we did a 25-hour show for that.
Yeah.
No,
Let's
just-
talk about it at the end. Let's
Yeah.
stay with
Do
the
I need to
program.
talk to you? Well, there are some times where I have a problem with my organic chemistry.
You're not in
And I
organic chemistry, buddy.
Oh God. buddy.
Organic.
Organic
Yes.
chemistry.
Continue.
No, not that one.
Yeah, not an organ chemist. Yeah, he doesn't work on church organs or your organ. Okay, so
It's a long route to that one.
yeah.
But
So I brought up SFL Tap because again, I know this experience like you're talking about how things change on the civilian side really quickly. And like I was a Ranger instructor, and so when I got back to the line, there was so much different in just 2.5 years. That was unbelievable. I was like, wait, what's that? We have those on our, but I don't ever even seen that before. Like, I didn't even get the message on it. Like, what is that? Right. So of course I learn it, but other people just don't. And again, we need to help them. We need to help them learn that and what they have to do. When I did my resume through SFL Tap, I sent it to a buddy of mine who's got out of the Army as an 03E. I sent it to him. I said, hey, he's a senior hiring official at a Fortune 5 company. That's how big the company is, right? And he sends it back, goes, this is shit. And I was like, I did exactly what SFL Tap said with how does being a senior enlisted infantry men, correlate to the civilian world. And it has a lot of the stuff you said.
I did really good. I kicked doors.
Really good. Kill people, bitches.
Oh, pew pew pew.
Yeah, pew pew pew. No, but like you said, like there's still even that program is still missing exactly what you have to write in your resume.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
And
shitty.
so-
It shouldn't, right?
It shouldn't. So that's what I was getting to.
But here's
That's what I was getting to. So
That's a good point, Nick.
Dr. Comitz, what do people need to specifically say in their resumes? And then how can we get into SFL Tap's world and slap them around and fix the classes?
Well, a lot of people I talk to want to kind of say TAP isn't working or whatever, but I just think I keep coming back to the fact that it's an individual effort, right? What the Army or the military in themselves have to do is they're trying to tell everybody that's separating all the things that are available and at least get them prepared in some way to leave, right? But it's really an individual effort. Even two people that were infantry, same rank and everything are still going to have different needs. And that's why these mentors are very helpful. And what do you put in the resume? It depends on what type of job you're looking for. And that's why having an expert in the area that you're looking for can really help out because, it's different in different industries as well. So that makes a big difference.
Okay, so now
And we got a question. We got a question,
Nice,
sir, in the
send
chat
it.
real quick. Keith is asking, thanks, but I would love to help others with getting back into the world in any way I can. How do I volunteer? Does the doc have a website that I can contact? So
yeah, so I think we're gonna put it in the notes, but it's acp-usa.org, and there's a place to sign up as a veteran or a protege, which we call the mentee, and there's also a place you can click to sign up for as a mentor. So
got that, Keith? We're going to be posting the links and all that again after the show, but okay.
Say again, it's acp.usa.org.
No, acp-usa.org.
See, buddy, you almost fucked me up.
I didn't say
Yeah,
anything.
it was you.
Yeah, probably, but I do want to. So I want to brag on myself a little bit because
Do it.
the The doctor is a PhD in organic chemistry, and he said the same thing I was gonna say. So we're pretty much. I'm basically a doctor.
You're just about.
So,
I like what you did there.
and
I
also
stayed at a Holiday
I
Inn
also
Express
have
last
some
night.
beats by Dr. Dre. Like a double doctorate right now.
Boom, I got Dr. Scholl's in my
what
boots.
is somebody?
I can triple
What do you
that.
call somebody with 2 PhDs?
Doctor.
PPHD. PP.
Yeah, I don't know.
PhD.
Well, I
Go
was
ahead,
gonna
buddy.
make the. I was gonna say the. So SFL Tap, just like old Doc said, is definitely made for the masses. It's like a tourniquet. It's just supposed to stop the bleeding. It's not going to fix the nerve damage. It's not going to fix anything else. But the problem is that people look out and they're like, well, I'm just going to write this resume and send it out to people. Well, if you want to figure out how to get a job, I don't know. Common sense is just right here telling me why wouldn't I go talk to the person who has the job that I want?
Yeah.
Buddy, this
Like-
go ahead, Dr. Comments.
No, that's exactly what we try to do. I mean, we pair these people up by hand. So we listen to what the veteran or the spouse says, what they want to do, and then we look for, we have people that just look in our database for the right mentor and find the one that has the skills that they're looking to get into. And then that person can really help them out in that individualized effort, as we mentioned.
Now, are these companies already associated and affiliated with you? Or do you, have that sponsor, whoever is talking to that veteran that's transitioning, and then he finds a company? Or because you mentioned it at the beginning, you guys are already affiliated with.
We're
like, how do
affiliated
companies become part of that? Like the Skill Bridge program, almost like they can.
Right.
They
Yeah.
can,
So we talk to a lot of different people, but we go out and try to find companies, or companies come and find us to join us. But I have a team of over with me over 50 people, and they are the ones that receive the calls, kind of like a caseworker, right? They'll listen to what the veteran wants, and then they'll go into our mentor pool, which is consisting of the mentors from these companies, and then finds the right one. And then they follow you through the process. So they'll call you every few months and say, hey, did you talk to your mentor? How's it going? We offer resources and stuff like that. So it's really, we follow you all the way through the process and don't leave you alone. And if you decide something changes throughout the process, we can get you a different mentor, or at least a call with another mentor. So it's very helpful to have.
And how long have you guys been around?
It's been around since 2008. So our founder actually doesn't have any military service, but he's a New Yorker, was an investment banker in downtown when the planes were hitting the World Trade Center. And he wanted to help out. He's a little bit older, so couldn't really join the military. And then he saw as the surge kept going on. So it started in 2008, but he saw the surge around 2007, 2008. He's like, someone's got to help these people as they're coming back, get back integrated into society. And so he used some of his leverage from his relationships that he had to start recruiting people to help out. And then that's where it started in 2008. So
maybe I just haven't, heard of, like, I feel like, I don't know if Nick and Buddy have ever heard about this program. Like,
well, but
like it should be a lot more.
Dave, I heard about it. That's why he's on the show.
I might hit you up on your LinkedIn.
That's why I'm on the show, is to get it out there more, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So no, you're right. Dave.
I feel like
you're right. But Dave, you're that I say my jokes because that's what I do. But you're right that you should have known about this. And this was my point to Buddy, his comment about, well, SFL Tap is for the masses. Okay, how about which is 100% right. But so how about a simple blurb that, hey, check out acp-usa.org, send them your resume, right? Because as much as we want to talk about how awesome everybody is, we all know as senior enlisted guys, E8s, and then the lieutenant colonel, there's a lot of people, and then we got Joe down there, right? So we got a lot of people that aren't going to do anything other than what they're told.
Correct.
Well,
right? It doesn't matter.
No, you're right.
They're going to do what they're told. Okay. Yeah. And they're going to do less than what they're told. Mm-hmm. We've all seen lots of those, right? So why can't we, with our platform, force feed it down their throat?
Right.
So we're trying.
Expose it more.
We have a team that's working on it. As a matter of fact, we have.
But you guys need to get an SFL Tap.
So the problem is, I'll tell you that. Here's the problem. So SFL, I've talked to them a lot, and each post or duty station kind of is their own little world. So there's not one place that you can go to and they'll disseminate everything else out.
Right.
You have to go to each post individually. And we actually have some people out at we have people, a woman out at Bragg that, she's been doing amazing, and she gets in and she actually has like a poster, sits in on these table events and all that stuff. And we got a lot of people from Bragg just from her getting the word out. So yeah, it really,
the military is letting you promote it. It's just, they're not pushing
it's
it
just
out.
that you can't do it in the masses, in any branch. It just doesn't work that way for some reason. That's just not how it goes.
That's shitty though, right?
I can tell you why it doesn't work. You would tell you why it doesn't work. Maybe because you haven't been to SFL Tap yet, or Tap.
I haven't. I'm going to do it next month.
And here's the problem: you go in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you have X amount of briefings that day. By 8:30 in the morning, you don't give a shit about anything that they're saying.
Yeah,
you don't.
Actually,
it's just so much information.
I think we're in there, but we're like a slide of a million that you're going to see during that time.
You don't even get barely the wave tops of all these other things. Like they go over VA, like all of your VA stuff.
Right.
I've got the book. Fucking hold on. Here it is. This is the VA book. This right here. This is what they go over. They go over this entire book
in a half hour.
Ours was about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I think. But it's all of the benefits.
Mine was online.
We're like, oh my God. And when they're going over this book, it's like, hey, if you were this, it's like a flow chart. If you're this guy, you got these benefits that are coming to you. If you're this guy, because they have to brief everybody. So, and we say it plenty on this show. You have to put skin in the game. Well, you have to search for organizations that are going.
Well,
to
right.
help
That was the whole
mean?
premise of this introduction to this question
Yeah.
that that we still got to get to.
There's a responsibility. Like you can't blame everything on SFL Tap or Tap.
You can't.
No. And I don't think anybody's saying that. I just think that there should be more.
I'm not. I'm saying, but there's that's not it. If you're looking at like your window to get out, SFL Tap.
The onus is on you.
The window.
You know why what's the best POI in the Army? What school?
Probably Pathfinder school. I would
Ranger
say.
school, obviously, because you did not write a good Pathfinder. I went to your Pathfinder, and the only reason
that's the only reason you are a Pathfinder.
The only reason I have a Pathfinder badge is because Buddy was my instructor. Okay, so but actually it's true because he got me a seat. That was beautiful when I passed
torch in the Olympics.
I passed all those majors and colonels, and they're like, "Is there a Staff Sergeant Cottrell in the formation?" And I'm like, "I'm right here," and I go jogging by, and everybody's like, "Who's that guy?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it." Like Buddy got me in. So
I don't even know how I did it. Thanks, bud.
What happened? I blacked out.
What
Keep
happened?
that on the down low.
What happened? I blacked out.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I made me lose my train of thought.
Stolen valor.
Stolen valor. But again, getting back to Dr. Comitz here with their program and how they can help is the best POI in the Army is Ranger School. All right, and who wrote it? Enlisted guys write it. They write all the training. They write all of it. What makes sense? And they brought more officers down there after a bunch of officers died in the 90s. God rest their soul. They brought more officers down in there because that was the congressional fix to it, right? And like, okay, now we have captains everywhere, right? And it's like, great. And so when the captains would say, "Hey, I have a question with your POI," I had a good friend of mine. He's out of the Army now, so I can say his name. But Chuck Cunningham said, "This school's been going on for 60 years. You think you're the first person to think about doing that?" Right. And the guy was like, "Well, no, you're not. All right. There's been a bunch of guys come down here that thought about doing that. And I'm going to tell you what, you'll get about at least 7 people killed in the next 3 years if you do that." Right. And it's like, okay, blah, 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 blah. So like I said, buddy, I'm not blaming SFL Tap. I'm saying let's have some enlisted guys write that POI and then have an officer sign off on it to where it's put a blurb in here at 8:45. All right, 08:45 because you've been there for 15 minutes and you've already stopped caring. All right, put a blurb in there that says, if you've already stopped giving a fuck, okay, check out ACP-this, .org. All right, because they're going to help you. No, what do you say? What do you say, Dr. Comitz? What do you say?
Well, I definitely agree. More people need to know about us, and I think the problem is they do it through contracts. So the contract for SFL Tap, the instruction is every few years it's renegotiated and new people come in. And when new people come in, they switch out people, they cut people, they try to save money, and it's just not a concerted effort. And again, there are a lot of things, right? But I like Buddy was saying, I sat there and I'm like, why am I listening to, what they have for benefits for wounded women? I'm like, it's great that we have them and it's good to know, but I could spend more time on other things than learning everything that's out there. So you're right. I mean, maybe in the beginning, it's just a matter of getting involved in something like us and then coming back to what do you really need?
Hey, so
I went to an SFL
ahead,
Tap briefing that was talking about monthly budgets. It was an executive finance brief. It was literally how to budget your monthly bills, and I was like, I'm done. I'm over it.
Did you tell me you drive a Dodge Stratus and you don't need to be here?
Yeah, you would think that I
got a brand new
would be
Charger,
a good class
guys.
for a private or something, but you think
I literally
you served for
said the
20
same
years,
thing.
you might be able to manage that.
It doesn't even matter. I'm a 40-year-old man. If I don't know how to do a monthly budget,
hey,
you're not going to help me.
Back in the cool army days when you could smoke people for no reason, like I had a Kia Cephia, if you want to church it up.
The Kia. Yeah, I remember the Kia. Yeah.
So it was a Sophia. Yeah.
The Sophia. Yeah. So I would drive her and I paid $3,000 for that car. And that thing had 40,000 miles on it. And I would stop it when privates would stop and laugh at it. I would stop it and roll the window like, hey, what are you laughing at? And I'm like, I can't hear you until you're doing push-ups. Okay. I'm like, all right, okay. Are you pushing now? All right, good. And I get out of the car, I'm like, what's wrong with my Kia? And they'd be like, oh, Sergeant, I just figured like you'd have a better car. I go, guess what else? Guess what else I have? I have a house. I throw parties every weekend. Okay. I feed kids. Yeah. Right. And I don't spend $25,000 on a fucking car. Right. Yeah. So again, it was a training point. We did train. I trained those soldiers. I correctively trained them, as they would say, except for the
car from high school joined the army to it. Just to
and it got me out of a ticket. It got me out. I know we're getting off track here, but it got me off of a ticket with JAG when I got for turning right on Chicken Road. They gave me a running a stop sign, and I went to fight the ticket, and I said, I drive a Kia Sophia. It is impossible for me to make a right-handed 90-degree turn without stopping. And the judge goes, that's the best argument I've ever heard.
There's a hamster under the hood losing his mind.
He ripped it up and it was great. But
I do have another question. Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Doc, and just dealing with all the various MOSs in the military, obviously, a lot of it's educational based, having your degree when you get out and everything. But just from your viewpoint, could you talk about briefly, like what some of these MOSs, like who you would tie them to, or what MOS maybe has more opportunities than another? Like, I get it, industry guys, like maybe the opportunities aren't as much as somebody who came from a, MI job, 35 series, or, even a logistical job, 92 series. But could you hit on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I have a few points there. The MOSs, right? Not everybody wants to do what they were doing in the Army.
Correct.
When they get out in the civilian world. So that's one thing. And maybe that's important to realize. So that opens the gate of, possibilities. And the other thing is that I think the mentors are usually highlight, and we get people to highlight their whatever soft skills, if you want to call them, skills that are not directly related to
you can
a
call
job.
them that.
You can call them soft? Okay. So those soft skills are definitely what makes us valuable as veterans, right? And so I think that's important to realize. And so I'm not a big translator of MOS because I've had some friends join up for the program, and I've said they were like, well, I could easily go into something like military contracting because I've been in that world, or whatever they were doing. And I said, well, what do you really want to do? And I got one of them to come out and say, actually, there's a few other people I've talked to also. I had one of them to come out and say, well, I'm interested in, sports, and so we actually have a relationship with Major League Baseball. He got a mentor from baseball operations, right, at one of the teams, and he's going to figure that out. And if he likes
Very
it,
cool.
he might get a job in it. If he doesn't, guess what? We can give him a mentor to help him with his resume 1 or 2 times, and he'll be able to apply to Lockheed Martin or Deloitte or wherever else he wants to apply. But, you know, this is the time to start, you know, exploring really what you want to do, because you're not going to stay in a job if you don't like it. And in fact, we have some stats on our website, but, you know, most of the time, like without people that went through our program, just normal veterans, usually about 56% of them actually only stay in their job for a year. So that means like 44% switch jobs after 1 year or before 1 year. But most of the proteges, but the proteges in our program, it's 86% retention. So I think the message there is we're getting them to meaningful employment. They're getting to find a job in the right place at the right level, and they really like what they're doing, so they stay longer and they become valuable employees.
86%. I mean, that's pretty good. Nick and I always talk about numbers because Nick always likes to point out numbers to me when it comes to logic and stuff.
Yeah, when you run a business,
86%,
yeah, data.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's pretty impressive.
Hey, buddy, let me
Yeah.
caveat off of this, because I was going to say that Buddy and Major League Baseball also have a link. They both use steroids.
No, I wish that I could.
Hey, listen, don't worry, buddy, don't worry about it.
Buddy eats too many cheeseburgers. Look at the guy.
Every major leaguer that's been caught. Nick can tell you, for every major leaguer that's been caught, a billion AAA boys have juiced up.
Hey, Doc,
Sports needs steroids.
what do you guys do as far as expectation management for guys that get out? Because I don't know how many guys that I've heard that they live under this illusion that they're going to get out as a 20-year staff sergeant or E7 in the infantry.
You were on that track for a while.
Yeah, but they're going to get a job. They're going to get a job making, 6 figures.
Yeah, I don't know where that
really
comes
good point,
from.
buddy.
I don't know where that comes from. And people would say to me, right? I was a lieutenant colonel, I have a PhD. Oh, you'll have no problem getting a job.
Inorganic chemistry, which means he's smarter than everyone here combined.
So it still took me, I applied to like 100 different places before and some of them were kind of obscure different types of jobs, titles, because I wasn't really sure. And so it's
how many places?
Right? Probably over 100.
Yeah,
I've applied to. And
hey, audience, listen to that. 100.
Yeah, but
part of the reason why 100 no's to get 1 yes, right?
Well, but part of the reason why I did that was because I didn't really have any help. I didn't have a mentor helping me through the process to figure out how to target the area that I'm looking for, and then how to really make my resume and my skills actually. And by the way, networking.
I was going to say networking is
like. I don't know what the right stat is, but it's probably up into 80% of the people that get job is from, I'm making it up. 80% of the people that get jobs
80% networking.
Someone they know.
Boom.
And it's really, it's not even, directly like, me or my brother or something introducing me. It's just like this, like we just met each other today, right? But if I say something to someone about you and endorse you, those are the type of things that will help get jobs along the way. And so mentors do that, right? Even if they're, whatever company they're working for, they know people in the industry because they've been around for a while. So I had a guy that was a mentor. He was working for John Deere. He had a woman that was a protege, and he was trying to get her to work at Deere because he was like, she's awesome. I want her to work at John Deere, but she got a job at Amazon. But now they talk and they kind of share trade secrets and stuff. But it's it's those type of things where the mentors actually just want to help them figure out what they want to do and get where they want to be. So I think that's the important part.
What's the volume right now, sir? So if somebody that's watching and he's transitioning and his wife, wants to get a hold of you guys as well, like,
or her,
is there a wait time?
How dare you assume?
Dude, Dave, seriously?
So
Dave?
What?
Jesus. You didn't include the women? You said him.
Wow.
Okay, how about him or her?
Oh my God.
I know it's April. I know it's April 2nd and Women's History Month is over, but we still have to include them, Dave.
Oh my God.
Right? So I'll tell you that if you apply right today, I bet you'll get a call on Monday. So
okay, so
our staff will get in touch with you within 24 to 48 business hours, at least to get you get you into the process, where they're going to ask you some of the questions, set up a call to kind of figure out where you're at, what you want to do, what your goals are. Then the pairing with the mentor could take sometimes our staff is really good and they already kind of find a mentor for you and pitch it. And if you don't want that mentor, you can easily say, no, find me another one. But sometimes they look at what you say. If you say enough in your interview, then they might even be able to try to have someone there. But if we always tell people 2 to 4 weeks, they'll have a mentor. That's awesome. We try to do. But sometimes it happens that day.
And it's sad. It's not sad, but it's again, this is why our platform is here, why Veteran Trash Talk is here. We're here because we're not bashing the government programs.
Right.
We're just, because like Buddy said earlier too, it's like it's for the masses, right? And all this kind of stuff. But with the whole spousal program that the government offers, so technically when a military family PCSs, right, the military spouse is supposed to get preference to a job, right? When I PCSed after that I PCSed before that program was implemented, then I PCSed again. My spouse could not find a job, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, sitting here like, wait, yours is supposed to go into the top of the thing because you're a military spouse that just PCS. Like, you're literally supposed to be the top, and she's applying for a job well under her credentials. Like wait, whoa, this should be.
That's a problem. Yeah,
It should be handed to you.
Wait a second. Wait, but where did you PCS to, Nick? She's
Fort
a
Bliss.
marine biologist, so if you didn't go to like Paris Island or wherever, she can't study any Marines.
Like I said, and those of you who've applied for GS jobs would know this, that all you need is a degree. It doesn't matter what it's in, right? So
I was just pointing out that she's a marine biologist.
Like I said, she was extremely.
I never know Marines there.
Extremely overqualified.
I mean, I know plenty of people that study Marines.
Oh, so she should have been. I got you. I did.
You used to study those too, buddy.
Damn it, buddy, you got me. I missed
Bamels.
Go on. Oh, damn it. I'm going to slap you. You keep your wife's name out of my mouth.
Wait, what?
I got a match. Your butt's my thing.
What happened?
Hey, I have a good point though.
Dumpster fire.
So
yeah, bring it back to the spouses. Now she busted her ass and got her credentials to be a teacher in biology, chemistry, and physics, and all that kind of stuff. And we had to spend an extra $4,000 on that just to get her a job. And I shouldn't say we got her a job. She got herself a job. She did all that shit, right? And all that hard ass work. But again, why can't?
Yeah, so I'll tell you another great thing that we do is we have webinars every week, right? Yep. And these webinars are like who's hiring, what type of jobs there are. I hosted a remote work symposium a few weeks ago, and you can go, by the way, you can go on our website and look at any of these past webinars. And we did a remote work symposium. It was almost like a dating game where we had 20 companies come on.
All about that.
20 companies came on, and they had like 5 minutes. They had 5 minutes each, and they talked about what it's like to work at their company and what remote opportunities they had and how to get yourself into that process, kind of the fast track way. So that was a really powerful webinar, and I think a lot of people, especially spouses, benefit from that, because if you're working remotely, then you can move wherever you want. And there's a lot of companies out there that will do that, but you got to find them. And having a mentor help you work through that is another thing that can help you out.
Yeah, we got to look that up. It's on the website. Maybe we'll post it on our page.
You keep saying mentor, and that's the thing. And so those of you guys watching, your spouse doesn't want to listen to you. Yeah. All right. They don't want your advice. Okay. They don't want what you think that they should do. Right. Even though they're probably listening to you, they don't want to hear it from you. Okay. Go get a mentor. Go get somebody. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me quote these spouses. Most of the spouses, or a lot of them, will say, "This is the first time that I did something for me." Right? Someone is actually, they're here for me to help me through the process. Right? They're
That's
always
so important.
taking care of the family, making themselves last in the pecking order, and the mentor is theirs. It has nothing to do with you or your spouse or your kids. It's for you. So that's important.
That's super important. Yeah.
Yep.
That's good stuff.
And hey, before we turn it over here for the buddy to close it out, right? To not to close out, excuse me, to recap.
And close out. Buddy's doing recap and close out.
Yeah. And And remember, just like in NCOES, if I say as you were, I don't get it knocked down on my grade because I just as you were. Buddy will do the right thing, and then Dave will do the right thing. Before that, right, the Ultimate Sacrifice Foundation. Those of you who are not tracking their organization, which more people are probably tracking them than are tracking us, even though we got about 700,000 followers, is they're doing tremendous things, and they decided to act. They put their skin in the game, right? And now they are doing things to raise money for the GWAT soldiers, for the people that are struggling through their transitions, which is why we know this is a perfect time to announce this, because there's people that can help.
Yep.
And then, like Buddy that always brings it up is it's an individual effort as well. And we always say this. We say this on our show all the time. You got to get off your ass and do it. Right. And we're gonna do our best here at Veteran Trash Talk to give you every opportunity to go there. Just go there, press the doorbell, hit it. You know what? If ACP tells you to go piss off, which they probably 99% of the time won't, right? Like, ring another doorbell, right? Go to the next door, ring it. So we're partner with USF now. All right.
Shout out to Mike and Colin.
Yeah, Mike and Colin, we are partner with USF. They just sent me an email. They obviously don't understand that we're live right now, so those guys need to get out of the game right now.
Get with the program, guys.
Yeah,
Come
get
on.
with the program, guys. Let's
Damn,
go.
lieutenants or captains.
Yeah, he got as a captain because he had better things to do. So he didn't want to lead soldiers anymore.
Yeah,
anyways, hey, welcome to the Trash Talk Hour. We are going to continue to take care of soldiers, and veterans. Like that, and we always say this: if we get paid, great. If we don't get paid, oh well. Right? Like we're just here to help.
Yep.
We don't have the answer. There is no the answer. We have maybe your answer today for people that are watching, and then maybe one or two guys signs up with ACP today, or girls, right? Signs up. Dave, you see how I did that? Anyways, so
you almost forgot to do that though.
I did not.
I'm not worried. Everybody knows my intentions.
Yeah,
I don't care.
So if we get one veteran to sign up with ACP today, then the entire hour was worth it. The hour was already entirely worth it to us because I had a blast. Right? I had a great time talking with everybody. So, Buddy, recap.
All right, super quick recap. Here we go, guys. Knife hand.
AAR.
So first,
behoove everybody to listen.
Thanks, Dr. Comitz, for coming on. It's really awesome the organization that you guys have and the individual care that you give to each person. I actually it's very hard to find that, and you'll find I found in a lot of other places that it's kind of dependent on the person that you get, how passionate and vested they are is to the results you have from a lot of these organizations. But like Nick said, it's on us. If you go there, you push the button and the door opens. That's not where it ends. You know what I mean? You have to go in. You got to fill out your name. You've got to help them to help you, and that's your job. If you want something, then you're going to have to put in effort to get it. Just like every other people or every organization that we have on the show. If you want something, they're not just going to come to your house, scoop you up, and rescue you from yourself. You have to grab the rope that's being thrown to you.
Unless you're 900 pounds and it's Maury Povich, he'll get you out of your house. He'll show up.
Maybe with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
So to recap, Will Smith, not a fan of just slapping people. It's illegal. Can't do it.
It's a shame.
Don't do that anymore. And you know what? I don't dislike Will Smith even now.
No, I don't care for him anymore.
It was a bad
everyone
look,
fucks
and
up.
It wasn't given a life sentence over.
Yeah. But everyone,
it was a bad look for him.
Screws up. We've all screwed up. We've all
career pivots if they want to change something or things haven't been working for them. So yeah, mentors can be there, and they can go. So anybody that either wants to be a protege or a mentor, sign up at acp-usa.org.
Boom. And for those of you, the chat just said we lost a little bit of sound for a second.
Okay.
So for everybody that's watching right now, this is going to be uploaded on YouTube
Tell them
shortly.
to come find me. We'll fight them.
And it'll be on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. So you guys can rewatch
Megan.
That. But anyhow, I don't got anything. But
there's a woman running through your house. Hey, there's a woman running through your house right now.
I know. Good looking one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you do know
the future,
her?
the future Mrs. Trenton. But we just want to make sure you knew her. We want to make sure you knew her. Because
buddy, you got to close out completely since you're actually wearing some VTT swag this time.
I already did.
No, you got to put the links. The links to.
Oh, go ahead, Dave. Close this out.
We're good.
You think you can do it so well? You go ahead.
We're good. We're good.
Nope, I'm done.
Oh, since you know everything, Dave, you do.
Sir, it was an honor.
That's how you do that.
Thanks for having me on. Really.
Yeah, it was an honor, sir. Thanks for.
Stick around after we close out.
Thanks for putting up with our 15-year-old mentalities while we're on the show. It's our only time to act like
But that's the audience
you're
reaching, though. You're reaching like
everyone.
Every time you do the State of the Union address is always like at like a 9th grade level because that's who they're trying to talk to. So it's not the president being that dumb. He's literally talking to dumb people. And guess what? We're all dumb trash talkers. Okay, we all are. Well, lots of things. All right, so it's okay to say I don't freaking know.
It's okay. Boom.
It's okay. Right?
Happy Saturday.
I sent my resume to that guy, and he said your resume sucks. All right, so it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, that's because
you're a lousy kindergarten teacher. I've seen those.
Cut the show. Boom. Happy Saturday.
Cut it.